Underwear. So is that something like if it's there, she will grab it instantly?
Yeah.
Okay, this sounds super weird and gross, but practice with it. So drop it and leave it should basically be trade commands. You should have something for her for 2 months of working on this to get it ingrained in her. It means nothing about what you have, it's all about what I have over here. Otherwise she won't. And so the biggest mistakes people make is like drop it, leave it, and they put all the energy into it. And an intelligent dog like her is gonna be like, okay, if I drop it, I know I don't get it again. And maybe if you have something for her, she'll drop it, but her mind is still on it. So with the drop it, sounds so weird, but take underwear out to practice, because if you practice with these kind of things too, it becomes less of a game. Let her pick it up and tell her drop it, and just have a treat right there. Would she come and get the treat, do you think? Or is it to the extent where if she gets it, she'll like go and hide?
I think she would come get it.
She'd come and get the treat.
Okay.
It's more like when we're out and about and she finds like candy bar wrapper.
Let me see what she does with this. Not empty, but it seems like it's totally a setup. Practice with something that she would pick up. There we go. Yeah. Drop it. Yes! See how she's still kind of hovering over it? So I'm just gonna give her a treat and actually not pick it up. So that's the other thing that people do wrong, is they pick it up instantly every single time.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, everybody does, because if you're telling a dog to drop it, you're trying to get the thing. When it's something that you're in the house and it's manageable to practice with, actually let her re-pick it up, because you could see as she's dropping it, her mind was like still on it. She's like, oh shit, I know I'm gonna get the treat, but I know they're taking that away. It becomes less of a game to her if you're like, oh, you get the treat, and then that's right there as well. And if you do that 5 times, she'll drop it and then never go back to it again, and it won't be a game. I did this with this dog who they couldn't have toilet paper on their rolls because the dog would like TP the house. And so they like kept them all up, and then I'm like, oh, let's practice drop it and leave it with the toilet paper. They were like terrified. They're like, are you sure bringing it out? And then the dog didn't care after that. One session of like, oh look, we're gonna play with this. She's like, what? It's more fun when you hide it. You could see that with her. Things are a game. Just be like, oh yeah, thank you for dropping my underwear. I'm not gonna pick it up. Then pick it up on the 2nd, 3rd time, 4th time, 5th, however many times it takes her to really snap out of it, just to kind of always keep her guessing. But make sure when she does get things out in the street that it's always drop it and trading. I wouldn't say 2 months for her at her age anymore, more like maybe like a few weeks of just making sure you always have something. Whenever I'm telling a dog drop it and I know it's not something that they're gonna eat and get sick or can hurt them, I'm running to the other room to get a treat instead of running to grab it out of the mouth. Otherwise it's just management and she'll never do it really on her own. And so leave it, you can use 2 treats. So I usually get her to lay down. I'm gonna tell her, leave it. Yes. Down. Yes. Leave it. Yes. So that first time I definitely had to cover it. Second time half cover, because you know if I would have just thrown it, she would have gotten it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good. So yeah, if you leave this, you get something better. I would go back to this basics and just practice that to get that. She'll catch on in 2 minutes, but leave it. Yes, and just make sure you're getting the eye contact up here instead of just looking at the treat. And see there how she just went right back to it? Then I would also, like advanced leave it is only saying it once. You can re-say leave it because it's a new exercise if you pick it up and then you keep doing it.
Okay.
So you can do that, but if you're gonna do the same exercise, you're gonna tell her only leave it once. And just don't proceed with things like this until she's chill. Because she's like pawing at it, make her relax. Just know in the beginning you need to be hovering it as well. But yeah, so she shouldn't be going for it, especially, this is like a focused training thing. So if you don't have her not trying to get it here, you have no chance outside. Down, prior. So if she gets it, she rewarded herself for not listening, the complete opposite. So there's nothing you can really do, but just do everything to try to like stop her. Yep. Leave it. Yes. Gentle. Good girl. Yes. Good. Yes. So just praising while she's still looking. Yes. Good. And that's what you're looking for, is for her to look at it and just look right back at you. And another way that you can do leave it, we'll practice it, standing up leave it. So I'm gonna throw it. Leave it. Yes, couple things. This is a more realistic leave it. If she sees something, what I always do is, if you know she's gonna want that thing on the ground, instead of dodging it or saying like, leave it,
Right.
this is what everyone does. She did absolutely nothing on her own. Go up to that thing, hover her over it, and tell her, leave it. Yes, and allow her to come back to you, because then she's actually working through it. So that's number one. If you're just walking past something real quick, instead of dodging, yes, let's practice. And then if you have the time, walk past it, keep walking past it, yes, until she doesn't care anymore. Yes, good, good girl.
It's a small miracle, by the way.
Yes, to get her to leave the tree.
Yeah.
Yes, good. Come on, let's walk by. Yes, good. It's just like all the energy is up here instead of there, instead of pulling away from that. It's like, hi, look here, look here.
Yeah.
So this one you can say leave it each time you walk by, because once you tell her leave it, and she does look up at you and you say yes, it can be a new command, or you can just say leave it once and continue to walk by.